what's up? You look happy. Nothing. Come on, don't make me pull everything out of your nose. Ah, it's embarrassing. Okay, come on, that's cheese. You don't have to be embarrassed in front of me. Okay, I think I'm standing on one of my classmates. No way! Which one? Chad. Ah, with that haircut? Nah, girl, I don't think he's a good pick. Do you always have to add your mustard to everything? Confused? Well, I guess that means that you don't know about the 10 funniest German idioms yet, but you're about to find out. Hallo, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio on and off since 2016. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for all of your support that you've shown me since I released my video about the name change last week, and also for 300,000 subscribers. We hit that number about 2 weeks ago, and I posted about it on social media, but haven't mentioned it in my videos yet. So yeah, a big thank you for 2 reasons. I already knew I had an amazing community before going through the rebranding process, but I now know that I literally have the best community in the world that not only supports me by selling out my products and making donation on donation, but also by looking through my content for me and even offering to help with editing. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that, so if you have any specific requests for a subscriber special or just a way that I can say thank you to you, please let me know in the comments. If you missed my last video, here's what you need to know. First of all, my channel name here on YouTube and also on all other platforms has been changed to Feli from Germany. Feli is the short version of Felicia in German, so I'll probably be going by that from now on, which I already introduced myself with that name in the intro, which felt a little bit weird, but I think I'll get used to it. And because of the name change, you'll see that there are blurs and audio overlays in my old videos to remove the old channel name. I apologize for that. I know it's not as much fun to watch anymore, but I hope it doesn't bother you too much, and I might re-upload some of my old videos with the new branding. Because starting today, we have a new logo and an adjusted intro animation, as you probably just saw in the intro. A big thank you to Harry Bell for helping me getting the new logo ready so quickly, and to Mitchell Sturkey for the animation. I'll put both of their contact information in the info box below if you guys ever need a good graphic designer or animator. Today I want to talk about a topic that I've been asked about a lot, because for some reason, people always want to know if I understand English idioms and which ones are the funniest I've come across so far. And I also get a lot of questions about what idioms we have in German. So let's talk about both of those things. And today we'll start with the 10 funniest idioms in German that you should not take literally. I'm gonna start with idioms that are actually still very common in everyday language today, but I'll definitely also make a sequel episode with some more idioms that might not be as common anymore, but also really, really funny, especially when translated into English. The first one is something that's used all the time, auf jemanden stehen, which in English would probably be to stand on someone or to stand onto someone. It's kind of hard to translate grammar-wise, but it means having a crush on someone or being into someone. As in, ich stehe auf meinen Nachbarn. I have a crush on my neighbor. You can also use it in regards to something that isn't a person, like something you enjoy, as in, ich stehe total auf Schokofrüchte. I'm totally into chocolate-covered fruit, which in my case is 100% true, by the way. I've just recently thought about this one because it's part of the title of a new German podcast by the Kaulitz twins from the German band Tokyo Hotel. They were really big in the mid-2000s, and the idiom is seinen Senf dazugeben, so to add your mustard to it, which in English would translate to the idiom to give your 2 cents or to give your 2 cents worth. For example, if you're having an argument with a friend and your sibling is around too and without being asked tells you their opinion about the situation, you might say, musst du jetzt auch noch deinen Senf dazugeben? Do you have to add your mustard to it too? Or you can say something like, der muss echt immer seinen Senf dazugeben. He really can't resist always adding his mustard to it too. According to my research, the idiom goes back to the 17th century when mustard was considered very valuable and restaurant owners often added a little bit of mustard to all of their dishes to make them seem more expensive, even when it wasn't actually a good fit. So just like they added mustard to everything without being asked, we use the expression when people share their opinion without being asked. If you've ever listened to Josh's and my podcast, you definitely know this one. Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof. I only understand train station. Meaning, I don't understand a word. I'm lost. The closest equivalent in English regarding an idiom would probably be, it's all Greek to me. The idiom was popularized in the 1920s and most likely goes back to the end of World War I, when the soldiers were just ready to go home, and instead of any orders, they just wanted to hear the word train station, because that meant being discharged and going home. Today, it's a lighthearted and funny way of saying that you don't understand anything or just can't follow what the other person is saying. And even though it's a funny idiom, I think most of us would probably rather not be in a situation where we have to say that, especially being lost because of a language barrier isn't fun, but with today's sponsor Speakly, you won't have to deal with that. Speakly is a new language learning app that was created by two polyglots that both speak 7 languages. Now, they sat down and researched thousands of language learners over the course of 6 years and created a unique method of language learning that teaches words and sentences based on their relevance in real-life situations. Which means that you won't learn anything that you don't use to speak the language, and research has shown that this new method helps you learn a language 5 times faster than what you're used to, which means that you can get from 0 to solid speaking skills in about 3 to 4 months with only 30 minutes of daily practice. What I find really cool is that the app lets you pick how many words you want to learn a day, so based on your goals and how much time you have, you can adjust that. And Speakly is also the only language learning app that lets you choose how you want to learn vocabulary. I mean, everyone learns differently. I was never the type to use index cards in school, for example, but I know that many of my friends love those, and that's why Speakly lets you pick whether you prefer learning with multiple choice answers, typing the words in, or a mix of both. But of course, you won't only learn vocab, you'll be covering all the parts you need to speak a language. So you'll have speaking exercises, writing exercises, listening comprehension, and there are even music recommendations. Now, I'm currently set to German for beginners, and I haven't unlocked any of the extra music, but what I can see here right now are actually artists and songs that people listen to in everyday life. Not your typical schoolbook songs, you know? You can just click on them and it'll redirect you to Spotify. Speakly is available on both web and mobile, so just click on the link in the info box below and start learning some cool new languages today. And you can also use the code below to get 40% off Speakly Premium Studies if you want to use all the premium features. Hey, how was the party last night? It was good at first, but then not so much anymore. Ooh, that sounds like a good story. Let me hear it. I don't know. Let's just say that I'm never drinking tequila ever again. Come on, don't make me pull everything out of your nose. This one might sound kind of disgusting at first, but it really just means that the other person doesn't just tell you everything at once, but you have to ask for every single piece of information. As in, ich musste ihm jedes Wort aus der Nase ziehen. I had to pull every word out of his nose. Or even more disgusting, like I just used it in the example, ich musste ihm alles aus der Nase ziehen. I had to pull everything out of his nose. In English, you would probably say pulling or dragging every word out of someone's mouth. Or you could also use the idiom that getting them to tell the whole story was like pulling teeth. The German idiom probably goes back to a time when people believed that diseases were caused by demonic worms in the patient's head. So quacks back then pretended to heal them by making it look like they were pulling worms out of their noses. The next one might even sound a little morbid, but I think it's also funny. Klappe zu, Affe tot. Lid closed, monkey dead. As in, nein, der Fernseher wird ausgemacht jetzt. Klappe zu, Affe tot. No, we'll turn the TV off now. Lid closed, monkey dead. Which basically just means end of discussion or end of story. And it apparently goes back to old circus days when they had a trained monkey in a box at the box office to attract visitors. And if the monkey died, the lid stayed closed. Let's get to a few food-related idioms. We actually have a lot of those in German. Numerous idioms even just related to sausages. I know, pretty cliche. Now, one of the sausage-related idioms is this one, which I find especially cute. Spiel doch nicht die beleidigte Leberwurst. Or, jetzt sei doch nicht so eine beleidigte Leberwurst. Don't play the insulted/offended liverwurst. Or, don't be such an offended liverwurst. Liverwurst or liver sausage is, as the name suggests, a sausage that's mainly made from a pig's or calf's liver, and it's pretty common in Germany and other parts of Europe. I just pronounced it 2 different ways in German. You can either say Leberwurst, which would be the more standard pronunciation, or in Bavaria we usually tend to say Leberwurst, so like We just make it an sh sound instead of the s, liverwurst. And your typical liverwurst is spreadable, so it's soft. The idiom is usually used for people that are offended by something that others don't consider very offensive, so they kind of overreact in a way. I'm not sure if there is a super common equivalent for this in English. I've heard the term being a sensitive Sally before, and when I googled it, it also said that being a sorehead would work. Never heard that before though. Now, the idiom probably doesn't even go back to the sausage itself, but rather just the organ of the liver, because back in the Middle Ages, people believed that the liver was closely connected to a person's mood and temperament. The sausage part was probably added later on. This one is pretty simple, but I always find it to be such a cute phrase. Glaubst du, es stimmt, dass Amerikaner mit dem Auto zum Briefkasten fahren? Nee, das ist doch Käse. Do you think it's true that Americans drive their cars to the mailbox? Nah, that's cheese. Or, weißt du noch dieses super schöne Kleid, was ich letztes Wochenende anhatte? Meine Katze ist heute in meinen Schrank gekommen und hat ein Loch eingerissen. Ach nee, so ein Käse. Remember that really nice dress I wore last weekend? My cat got into my closet today and tore a hole into it. Oh no, such a cheese. I mean, you can't tell me that that's not a million times cuter than saying so ein Scheiß. That's bullshit instead. This goes back to a time when cheese was a very common food and therefore was used as a symbol for something of low value. Ich hab doch gesagt, du sollst dein Zimmer aufräumen. Hier sieht's ja aus wie bei Hempels unterm Sofa. I told you to clean up your room. It looks like underneath the Hempels sofa here. Who are the Hempels? No clue, but apparently they're not very clean because this idiom is used to express that something is very messy. In English, you could say that something looks like a pigsty, it looks like it was hit by a bomb, or simply that it's a mess. Good morning, sunshine! Please stop screaming. I have such a bad male cat from the party last night. The German idiom is einen Kater haben, so having a male cat or a tomcat. And, you probably guessed it, it means having a hangover. And no, there's no other way of saying that in German. This is the official expression. Being hungover or having a hangover is having a male cat. And last but not least, a cute way of saying that you're pissed off. Das geht mir echt auf den Keks. That really goes me on the cookie. Or that really goes on my cookie. Depends on how you want to translate it. It basically means to get on someone's nerves. You can also say jemandem auf die Nerven gehen in German, so actually including the word nerves, but the version with the cookie definitely makes it sound a little bit nicer. It's not quite clear where this idiom comes from, but it's still relatively new apparently, and you may have heard it before on the YouTube channel Wanted Adventure because the host, Dana Newman, has actually written a book called You Go Me on the Cookie. So check that out or check out the channel if you want to. Let me know in the comments below which of these idioms you find the funniest or cutest, and of course share your favorite idioms in German, but also in English or any other languages, because I know there are some really cool ones out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do like my content, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also activate the bell. And of course, you can also find me outside of YouTube on my social media accounts that all have a new name now. It's Feli from Germany together on Instagram, Feli from Germany on Facebook, and if you want to support me and join the Patreon family, you can do so on patreon.com/Feli from Germany, or you can buy me a drink on buymeacoffee.com/Feli from Germany. Thank you guys so much for all of your support once again, and I hope I'll see you next time. Tschüss!